Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com, the only company I trust to protect my wealth with gold and silver. Call 800-BUI-COIN. Crazy world, isn't it? And how do you get through a crazy world? Well, some do it through religion. They stick to the religious teachings of their father's father's father. They follow in their footsteps. They don't vary one iota. That gives them stability and sanity. We have to respect that. The problem is when they try to impose it upon us, isn't it? That's when the trouble begins. Others say, I don't care about any rules. I'm going to do it any way I can. They wind up either suicides or drug addicts or both because, as you well know, the human being needs structure and order. And then there's the rest of us. Somewhere between the religious fanatics, we have a mild belief in God and the Ten Commandments. We don't want to rely upon drugs, sex, and rock and roll to get through life. And we get through life without religious fanaticism or drugs. That's the majority of decent mankind. And Barak said unto her, if thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, I will not go.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage. Warning: the Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, the Savage Nation, home of unprotected talk, borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage.
Welcome to the Savage Nation. Every thinking person on earth is listening to my show. Yeah, you don't know that. You never read about me. They hate me at Fox News because I leave them in the dust. I'm never mentioned by the great Rush Limbaugh for obvious reasons. God bless him. He created a medium for all of us. But he's had his day. And I got to tell you right now that what I'm attempting to do in talk radio has never been done before, which is just simply survive. I can tell you the world is changing. I can tell you you're changing. I can tell you your views are changing. I can tell you that people don't know what to do from one day to the next. And I can tell you they don't know where to turn for any guidance. They don't know where the lodestone is anymore. They don't know where north is, south is, east is, west is. So what happens in times like this is that people tend to cleave to what they know. If they're religious, they become more religious. If they're irreligious, they become more irreligious. If they're immoral, they become more immoral. If they're drug addicts, they become more addicted to drugs. If they're sex addicts, they become more addicted to sex. And so you say, well, then what are you talking about? Where are you leading us? I don't know. You decide where I'm leading you. I'm not leading you anywhere. I'm only a talk show host. I'm not a politician. I'm not a movie star. I have nothing to offer you other than thinking. I guess I'm leading you to think for yourself. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do. Maybe I'm leading you to try to think for yourself. Thinking. It's as rare as writing books. Yeah, thinking today is an endangered activity. So now I get attacked by a group called Right Wing Watch, and they say, Michael Savage says, in my day, Caitlyn Jenner would be in a straitjacket. They find it offensive? To me, it's commonsensical. They make it sound like I said something crazy. I'll read it to you. Michael Savage yesterday offered a very reasonable take on Caitlyn Jenner's gender transition, telling listeners that she is, quote, mentally ill, psychotic, and jealous of his sick, ugly daughters. I still think it's true. And here's what he said. Quote, in my day, that's a mental illness. They're put in a mental hospital. They're given medication. They're put in a straitjacket. They're put in a locked ward, and they're guarded around the clock from hurting themselves or others, close quote. Savage said. He went on. In this demented, sick Western world of ours, this is now considered a lifestyle choice. He also called Jenner a symbol of, quote, the death of America and the nation's unraveling. I 100% think that that's true. I'm not ashamed of what I said. I stick by it. Does anyone disagree with me? And here's what else they're saying I said that's wrong. Quote, as Islam is rising, America is dying, Savage continued. As Christianity is being crushed around the world, what is rising? Islam. Why is it rising? It's not because the people who are joining Islam necessarily want to cut other people's heads off. It's because they're vomiting from the putrid garbage being spewed down their throats from the vermin of Hollywood, close quote. That's a reasonable statement. I wish I could say it again today. I mean, I don't know how I had the mental clarity yesterday to say that. So I had to quote myself from yesterday in order to say it today. I agree with those statements. And to be focused on a psycho like this, a narcissistic maniac like that, while the world is burning, is unbelievable to me. It's about as real as Howard Stern's wig. A 65-year-old Jewish man wears a wig like that and gets away with it and makes a fortune? Yeah, only in America. And what does it show? He mocks people who are handicapped. That's considered entertainment in America today. So that's where we are today. It's all a hustle. And as I pointed out in the last hour, John Boehner is no different than Alexander Hamilton, one of our revered founding fathers, in doing deals against the best interests of the people. I explained the Whiskey Rebellion to you in the last hour. Now, many of you are decent people, but you're free of all knowledge, so you don't know what's going on around you. I don't say you're bad. Many of you are very decent people, but you're free of all knowledge, so you think that what I say is revolting or shocking. It's because you don't understand what's going on in the real world. So I'm going to go to open mic to mic today. I'm going to do what's called unprotected talk, because I think that you can shape the course of America's destiny, in that your mind is as good as anyone else's mind. By the way, that's true. Your mind is not as good as John Boehner or Mitch McConnell, the two sellouts. Let's take some whacks at it. WMAC Radio, line 4. Go ahead, please. Line 4, what's on your mind?
Yes, Dr. Savage, you seem like you're a very learned man, but that's only on secular material, not too much on spiritual. I wonder, have you ever read the Old Testament and the New Testament? Well, getting what I call about as far as, I know your parents are from Russia, and you're an immigrant from that, and that's where they get to Stalin and Gorbachev and Putin. And you sound about like that when you do all that screaming and yelling, sounding almost like Mark Levin. That's all he does on his program. And I tell you what, you do.
All right, so you don't like me. What else is new?
Well, you talk about the president as if he's some kind of a dog or whatever. But
no, I never called him a dog. I said he's a very clever devil. It's different than a dog. See, you're a black man, so you think that because he's black, you got to support him. That's your problem.
Well, Jesus Christ, a black man.
Why is it that black people have to support a man who is so evil? Why? Why can't you stand up for your own self and say, he may be black, but he's really not a patriot. He may be black, but he's selling us down the river. He may be black, but he's doing a deal with China right now that even the unions oppose. How do you explain that even the Democrat socialist unions are fighting your leader to stop this deal, the secret deal with China? How can you justify that?
Well, is Jesus Christ a white man or a black man? Do you ever?
You're not answering my question. Don't play preacher with me, preacher.
Well,
why don't you answer my question? If your man, Obama, is such a great man, why is it that the left-wing unions are opposing him on his secret deal with China? Ask yourself that question.
Well, I know the answer. Because, like I said, the Republicans are for it. Because, like I said, they are always for capitalism. That's for it. And I'm not against capitalism, by the way. And I'm sure.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, the Republicans are for it because they're for big business. We agree on that. So why is it that the unions oppose it?
Because you get these big businesses, just like how you all are conservative, you all like to make all the money, but you don't want to pay out any money.
I don't want to pay out any money. I pay most of the taxes in the country. It's people like me who support people like you.
No, you don't support me because, like I said, I'm a person who work on my own. But
well, good. I'm glad. So you're supporting the people who don't work. How can you like that?
Well, like I said, in America, no one wants to pay taxes, Democrat nor Republican, but we got to pay taxes.
But you still haven't answered the question. Why is it that even the unions oppose your guy Obama on his secretive deal with China? And moreover, my friend, since you're such a just man, as you apparently think you are, why is it that this man is the sneakiest president in American history who hides a deal with China and won't let anyone see it? What's that about?
Well, like I said, the thing about China, everything is made from China. And China, they making all the money, but yet still they send over here to us dog food that is poison, the towels as far as...
well, you're not answering me, though. What I'm trying to do is get you to think the way I try to get that religious Jewish caller to think. You don't have to support Obama just because you're an African American. Do you understand you have the capacity to say he's wrong on something? Has he ever done anything that you disagree with?
I disagree with as far as him. As far as there are several things I may disagree with him. I'm not saying I agree with everything, but as far as the leader, I rather support a Democrat than a Republican. Like I said, I rather.
But you're not answering me. What has Obama done that you find offensive?
Well, as far as the Patriot Act, as far as continuing to allow that to go on, because
all right, in other words, spying on Americans, we agree on that. But if labor unions are pressing the Democrats to reject Obama's lobbying on the trade bill, doesn't that tell you that even they oppose this man on that issue?
Well, it's simply called, like I mentioned earlier, due to the fact that these big Republicans, who own most of the money, they want.
Whoa, hold on, my friend. I said the Democrats are opposing Obama's trade bill. I didn't say Republicans. The Republicans are supporting Obama. It's the Democrats who are opposing Obama.
The reason for that, because, like I said, they are wanting the money, and by them wanting the money, then.
But you're assuming only Republicans want to deal with China. I'm trying to tell you that skeptical Democrats are also opposing him on this. Don't you get it?
I'm trying to tell you because the laborers, as far as you know, they are for the people, and for the people, that means that the average person. That's what the Democrats.
So, which side are you on? You're for the secret trade deal with China?
No, I'm not for it. Like I said, I'm nothing wrong with trading with China because I said.
Well, no, hold, sir. Let's try to have a discussion here. So you agree with me that Obama's wrong on this secret trade deal with China? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that.
See, well, that's your problem. You're stuck in a prejudicial view of him, which is because you are of the same race, he can do no wrong. Don't you understand how limited your thinking is?
I'm saying due to the fact that with the trade...
No, I'm saying due to the fact that you're stuck into a racial reality, you can't even accept that you disagree with him on anything.
I told you I disagree with some of the things. Like I said, the Patriot, I disagree with him on that as far as politics.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Unfortunately, in America today, people are locked into their racial politics, their sexual politics, their gender politics, and they can't understand that it may be harmful for the nation as a whole. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. And if I can have you occasionally think outside, let us say, the box that you put yourself in, it might be a healthier nation.
Well, I'm saying now. I see why you were banned.
Well, all right, I can see you called up. You don't like me. You accuse me of being Stalin and Russian and this and that, but you didn't really actually listen to me. And now you actually agree with me on the secret deal that Obama's passing. So who's the Stalin here, you or me?
I'm saying now, as far as I see why you were banned over there in England due to the fact that, well, you tell the truth occasionally, but then an old clock that's no good, if it got hands on it, tell the truth 2 times a day, whether or not it's wrong.
Yeah. So who do you know who tells the truth 100 times a day?
Well, the Bible, as far as with it, and then, by the way...
So your boss, Obama, tells the truth 100% of the time?
Was not written by God. The Bible was on...
No, I asked you, who tells the truth 100% of the time? Your boss, Obama? He's the new Messiah?
And getting back to the Bible, I said in the Bible...
I'm getting back to your boss, Obama. Does he tell the truth 100% of the time?
Do you tell the truth 100%?
Well, no, wait, excuse me, sir. You're coming on this show, you're attacking me, calling me Stalin, because you disagree with me. You're stuck in your racial biases. You support the president because he's black and you're black. And you're telling me that although you disagree with him, he's still better than me because he tells the truth 100% of the time is what you're implying.
No, I'm just asking you, do you tell the truth 100% of the time?
No, I'm not going to be put on the spot, my friend. You're the one on the spot. You're the one calling my show. I'm not calling your show.
Well, I'm just telling you now, as far as if you can answer that question, do you tell the truth 100% of the time?
You're not answering my question. You won't answer why you support Obama no matter what he does. The man is trying to push the most secret trade deal in history. How can you support a thing like that?
Due to the fact that we do need trade in America. But
so you're for a secret deal. You have no idea what's in it, but you like it because Obama's for it, right? It's the text of this trade deal, my friend, is still hidden in the basement of the Capitol. Is that the country you want to live in?
Now, if you really look at the situation, what he is...
No, you look at the situation. Don't impose your ignorance on me. The text of this deal is still hidden in the Capitol basement. No president in history has tried to get away with a sneaky thing like this. Why would you support that? What is he hiding in that bill that he won't let anyone examine it?
Well, it's about like how you said as far as Obamacare, when it was first come out there, you got to read the bill. I mean, you got to pass it before is actually know what's in, because due to the fact that there's a lot of hidden agendas as far as in the bill, and due to the fact.
So, in other words, you agree there's a hidden agenda in the trade deal with China. Is that what you're saying?
Well, he need to get as far as China.
Oh, in other words, so you're giving him that power of being a sneak, because he knows better than everybody what's good for America. Is that what you're implying? He's so smart and so good and has the interests of America at heart, and only he knows what America needs, so he can get away with anything because he knows that and he's the Messiah. Don't you understand what you're saying, my good friend? Don't you understand how you sound on this national show? And you are exactly the epitome of what I said at the beginning. You're a decent person, but you're free of all knowledge, and I will free you now for yourself. I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Your Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com.